SoFi investors, hello. Let's get right down to the point of what is going on here. And more than likely, this is going to be the grand opportunity why we should probably start focusing on SoFi right now. And I'm going to share this chart that came out where this analyst came out and said, hey, this is pretty much my price point the next 5 years with what's going to happen here with SoFi. So let's dig in right now what's going on. So obviously, if you're new here, you're not new here. I made a video just 4 or 5 days ago when SoFi had that big pop here. I said in that video, I was like, hey, this is great, but listen, I think a lot of us have been here with SoFi and we've been through the turmoil and the pulling of hair. I've been in this long relationship with SoFi and it has been an up and down rocky situation. And obviously here in just a short time, we're going to see rate cuts. The question is the rate cut going to be enough for something to really push the market and SoFi as well, which SoFi needs rate cuts. It needs rate cuts to survive getting into a bigger market capitalization here into the future. So with that, right now the market is taking a huge dump. It is just completely, everything is on sale. Must go right now. The whole market is on fire, which this is great because things have been a little too high as of late. But we know when we see these situations occur, this means there's going to be greener days. So don't look at this as a terrible situation. With SoFi here going back down to this mid-7 range, which, listen, I said this last week, I am very bullish on SoFi, of the future of this company. I am. As much as this stock has made me curse, whatever you want to say, and completely just be sick and disgusted with it over the past few years, and I admit I could have put my money somewhere else where I would have made a lot more money. I've bought, I've sold, but this is the moment that I've been waiting for years now with all this, before even the COVID. So this is where we're at right now. We're waiting on inflation to come down, rate cuts, and it looks like we might be going in some greener grass. SoFi is trying to stay above water right now. It is trying to keep its head above water. With that said, I would not be shocked to see SoFi take some more damage. I said last week, I think the next 2 weeks in the market are going to be pretty violent. It's going to be pretty up and down with a few green days sprinkled in there, but they're going to not really be green days because we're not going to gain a lot more back. I think the whole market right now is selling off until we absolutely see this rate cut. And is the rate cut going to do something? Is there going to be a recession after the rate cut? What's going to happen with this election? There's a lot of unknowns in the market right now, and everyone's feeling about the same. I'm pretty sure every friend, investor I have, we're all saying the same thing. We're just unsure. But when you're unsure and you see deals like this in the market, this is why it's so important to keep capital with you to pounce on these situations that are occurring right in front of you. So, if you're buying SoFi right now, you need to, talk that over with yourself. That needs to be a decision you need to make yourself. If you're long-term in SoFi, yeah, buying this at $7.50 or $8, you're going to be fine. You're going to short-term not see much, but long-term, you're going to see big gains in this. And I fully believe, as someone who is very bullish on SoFi, that this could go right back down to a 650 range here within the next 14 days before we see a rate cut. I believe that 100%. And that's not to be mean, that's not to be aggressive or make fun of anybody. That's just, I honest to God think that is the reality of what the market is doing. I think we are in a huge shakeout right now. We're in a huge shakeout where large corporations are selling off and they're wanting to shake you out of your positions. They're wanting you to lose your money. They're wanting you to get scared and run away. That is what you're watching right now. With that, we've seen this come, and listen, this is another weird situation because the news cycle has completely switched right now on SoFi. The beginning of this year and the last few years, SoFi has been ridiculed in the news outlets where it's just, you're crazy for putting your money in this. The company's not going to really go anywhere else. It's not going well over at SoFi. And it wasn't for a few years. It was pretty, COVID really damaged this company with student loans, all that kind of stuff. I'm not going into that. But now you're seeing analysts say hey, you should probably take this serious. This is a situation within the next, few years that we could really see progress heavily. Now, somebody put this chart up. This is from an analyst where they put this up, and honestly, This is projected for the next till 2030, and by 2030 they have SoFi here at almost $18, which I think is highly still undervalued and not realistic, because I think by next year, especially seeing multiple rate cuts like this time next year and getting into maybe a bull market run, we could definitely see SoFi already at a $14 to $18 mark by this time next year. I don't think that's crazy at all, and I don't think there's too many people watching this that like SoFi and been with SoFi and seeing what's going on in the logistic movement of SoFi in their company would probably disagree with that, because you're dealing with a company that is making a lot more money, projected to continue to grow with money, their bread and butter, their subscriptions with open banking, customers opening bank accounts, taking loans. This is something that is going to continue to build them as a big company. SoFi once again is taking damage. SoFi is a very sensitive stock right now. It has been for the last few years because of where the market's been. The survival on SoFi, with SoFi, strictly is the pulse of the general population. What does SoFi need to survive? It needs a healthy economy. It needs people taking loans, buying houses, buying cars. But in order for that to happen, it needs a strong economy. It needs people to have money, to spend money. And that's why the last 4 years have been so uncertain with SoFi, and so up and down, and so ungiving. And that's why so many people have just been fed up with SoFi. But now, finally, we're starting to see SoFi show signs that there may be greener grass on the other side. Now, obviously, this is not I'm going to be completely honest with you. This is a diversified stock, and that's what it is. This is not an AI play. This is not an AI company. This is not a company that's going to be raking in billions upon trillions in the future. It is what it is right now. It's a growing company. It's a company that more than likely within the next decade, hopefully sooner than that, but projecting outward, will be one of the largest banks in North America. Not only that, will pay out a dividend on top of that as a bank, to where that will bring in much more investor enthusiasm. So for people that say, I'm done with SoFi, I don't want anything else to do with it, I'm tired of it, I've spent my time, money on it, I'm just done. I get it. I get it, friend. I really do. I completely understand you. It has been a rough road with SoFi. Waiting this long with SoFi, I have to give it this one last shot. This thing that I've been waiting on for SoFi to have with these rate cuts, with the somewhat general population showing signs of turnaround with inflation. Obviously, job reports are a whole nother conversation. If we can see a turnaround here in our general country, SoFi will stand a chance at a faster rate. And this projection of 2030 at $17, I hope to see $17 by this time next year if the market can rebound here dramatically. So friends, that is my thought and process of what's going on here with SoFi. Just as a general investor like any of you, I sit here and really wonder, do I continue with SoFi? And I have to tell myself, yes, I have to continue for what is possibly and looks like it's coming. And obviously, I know a lot of this will depend on who wins this next election, and I'm not getting into that. But yes, SoFi will do better under one candidate for sure. So with all that said, friends, I wish everyone the best of luck, and I will talk to you soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.